All right, let's talk a little Aztecs right now. Coming off the big win against Arizona State, and the man that was running the show offensively is joining us right now. He is the quarterback of this team in the absence of Christian Chapman. Ryan Agnew is on with the Cannons. Ryan, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
It is great to have you on, Ryan. Congratulations. Huge win against Arizona State. I want to go back to something that your coach talked about, that he really trumpeted your horn, so to speak, was that drive right before the first half to tie up this game. You guys are down early. It's 14-7, but he said you ran that 2-minute drill to perfection. How long into the game, because obviously you were coming off the bench in the previous game, but how long into this game did you really start feeling comfortable?
Right when I got out there, I looked at my teammates and I knew who I was going to battle with. I knew who was going to be on the field with me, and there was a comfort from the beginning. Now, it took us a little bit to get rolling, as it sometimes takes on during the game, but as long as we get on our path and we do what we do and we execute well, it doesn't matter when we get done, as long as we get it done in the end. So I kind of felt comfortable from the beginning. It just, it didn't start to click until a little bit into it.
How well did you sleep Friday night beforehand?
It was tough. It was definitely a lot of jitters, mainly excitement. I was excited, my first start ever in college football, and a lot of friends and family coming out to support. So I wanted to do my best, not only for my friends and family, but most importantly, my teammates, San Diego State University, because I owe it to them to go out and give my best and ultimately, come out with a win.
Ryan, you spent a lot of time with Christian, obviously, in quarterback meetings. People don't understand if there's a position where you're basically the two guys, you're there watching the same film over and over again. The opportunity to get this chance to start now in the absence of Christian through this injury, do you have mixed feelings about it? I mean, obviously you want to take advantage of the situation, but do you have certain feelings about Christian and his efforts to get back into the lineup?
You don't want to – that's what you don't want on a team like this is we put, the most important guy is the guy next to you. So the most important guy next to me is, the Aztecs stand right next to me, and that's guys like Christian, it's guys like Fred Trevelyan, seniors that have, been here for a while. So no matter what the circumstances, whether I'm playing or Christian's playing, we just want what's best for the team, what's best for the program, and, ultimately, do what's best for the fans and for the community supporting us. That's what's really important.
Ryan, how helpful was Christian getting you prepared for the start?
He was very helpful. He's been through the ringer a couple times, more than not, and he's been very successful doing it. So, he knows the formula to win football games. So throughout the week, I'll, pick his brain, ask him some questions. Then throughout the game, he would tell me what he's seeing. I tell him what I'm seeing, and we kind of, talk about what would work, talk about what we need to do to, do better on the next drive. And so it was the best thing that could be there for me is having someone who's been through it and understands what's going on.
Aztecs quarterback Ryan Agnew is joining us. All right, so you got Eastern Michigan coming up next, and Rocky Long says they're better than Arizona State. I know you're setting early film on this team. What do you see in that Eastern Michigan defense that you may have to overcome on Saturday?
Eastern Michigan is a very sound football team. They know their assignments and they execute them very well. They have great players. Coach very well, I believe. I don't know them personally, but I know they're coached very well, and they execute it very well at a high level. And there's some big dudes. I mean, they compete in a very good conference, as we saw in Northern Illinois last year, who gave us all we could possibly handle, and for the past 2 years actually. And so we know what type of football they're going to bring. It's going to be hard-nosed football, and all we got to do is focus on ourselves, though. Try and get better every single day, and make plays on Saturday, and ultimately we should get what we want to get done.
Aztecs quarterback Ryan Agnew with us here on the Loose Cannons. Ryan, I don't know if you afford yourself this opportunity, and if you did it against Arizona State, maybe after a handoff to one of the running backs, do you get a chance to enjoy what your offensive line does, especially on a running play?
I mean, when I hand the ball off, I'm supposed to carry out a fake and take some defenders with me. So in the moment, I'm not allowed to. I don't really see what the offensive line does, which is unfortunate because watching on film was awesome. Seeing those guys, knock them down in the first level, get to the second level, and even the third level, making great blocks, getting Jawan through, getting Chase through. They were doing an outstanding job all night. And without those guys, we wouldn't have been able to win that game.
I've always wondered about this. So if you're running an option play where you have the opportunity to either hand the ball off or keep it, I mean, this is such a split-second decision. Some people are masterful at it. You go back to the old days of the old wishbone. That was every single play. And some of those guys were absolute magicians. I mean, sometimes you make the right call, sometimes you make the wrong call. How does that process work for you, Ryan? Because obviously you have the ability to run the ball, but when you got a guy like Juwan Washington, top 5 running backs in the country, it's sort of hard to say, you know what, I'm going to take this. You can take the play off. I feel like I'm going to get a few more yards than you. Sorry about that, Juwan. How does that all play out for you?
That just goes into preparation. Coaches, teaching us what to look for. When who needs to carry the ball in what moment. So that's not really, a moment where I'm like, I need to take one off his hands or I want to run it one time. It's just, taking what the defense gives us. And if that means handing the ball off to Juwan every single play or chase, and that's what it calls for. But if it calls for doing other things, you just have to adjust. You just have to do, whatever it takes to win the game and whatever the coaches, instruct us to do, because they give us a great game plan every single week.
Ryan, do you run a quiet huddle or you're pretty vocal in it?
I wouldn't say I run a quiet huddle. I wouldn't say I run a very vocal huddle. I say what I need to say if, we need to pick it up. And, I encourage our guys to pick it up. If things are going well, you keep encouraging them. If things aren't going so well and everyone's kind of down, you got to pick them up. And that's what the quarterback is. You got to be a battery. You got to be the charge. You can't be looking down because everyone's looking at you.
Now, Judson Richards, who does the pre and post for the Aztecs, co-host of our morning show here on the flagship of the Aztecs, Xtra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego. Spread the news, Ryan. He said that when he saw you, he really had a hard time differentiating between you and Christian. He said you guys basically look the same and everything else. What would you say, personality-wise, is the biggest difference between you and Christian Chapman?
It's hard to kind of differentiate us right now. I grew up in Texas. I have a different lingo. I say y'all. Christian grew up in Southern California, so he kind of has that.
He says dude.
A lot of dude.
Mm-hmm. And I like country music. I'm not sure if he likes country music very fondly, But all in all, we match up very well. We bond very much, and it's been awesome having him, throughout my years here.
You were a Carroll High School Dragon High School there in Southlake, Texas. How did you end up at State?
Just throughout the recruiting process, I had a couple options. Ultimately, I felt as if I wanted to leave the state of Texas, kind of branch out, get off on my own for a little bit. And so I was deciding between a couple schools, Naval Academy, University of Connecticut, Houston, San Diego State, UNLV. And ultimately what drew me here was, the coaches and the culture that was here, the culture of winning. Coach Long, he's a hard-nosed, old-school guy, and at the end of the day, he wants results and he wants wins. And, if you want to play football, I hope you want to win. And it's a lot more fun when you win than when you lose. So just ultimately the coaches, the culture around here, and who would want to live in San Diego and play some football.
I was going to say, living in San Diego, I know
or summer in Texas.
It's a little hot there in those Texas summers, I would imagine, a little bit extra heat. Well, Ryan, congratulations again. Big victory for you and your teammates against Arizona State. And obviously, we wish you the best of luck this Saturday against Eastern Michigan. We'll talk down the road.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ryan.
There he is, Ryan Agnew. Ryan Agnew.
Sharp.
Yeah, sharp guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he had an answer for everything. He was ready. There was nothing to throw this guy off.
No.
Which is what it's cool under fire, right?
That's
what you want in a quarterback.